comes a moment in everyone's life. There comes a moment in time when you come to a river you just have to cross, or a mountain you just have to climb. This is the moment, and now is the time to reach out where no man has gone. Time to break through the barriers, blaze a new trail. Time to reach out above and beyond. Reach for the future, let go of today. Tomorrow will bring a new dawn. Take to the challenge your own special way when you reach out above and beyond.
Just like to make a mention is that if I can do it, and somebody from Kentucky that doesn't talk very well, and when they do get someplace important, they lose their voice. And Judy, a grandmother, that just wants to try to better her family a little bit better, so that the mother can come home and take care of their kids. So that's the main goal. And now to come up, and I think her last month's check was like $17,000. You know, that's pretty good.
Met a lot of super people. Everybody at TeamUp's been great, and I just really love the product and love what it's done for me.
And it's great to be part of the TeamUp team, the company that has the vision to take my foundational programs and herbal products and make them available to all of you.
Well, the company has given me an opportunity to work with my wife Sylvia, and we have accomplished our goal is to help people. We've got an incredible company. We've got 2 great nations to open up to TeamUp, and it's all systems go.
I owe a lot of my success to these people right over here from Canada for pushing me up to Silver Crown. So thank you, Canada.
And this is a recession-proof business. I mean, it's been phenomenal what it's done for our people. And it's just been a beautiful experience working with them. All the moms, as they were saying earlier, the housewives.
So this is a chance to build a career that can support you for a lifetime and that can provide you that second paycheck. People saying thank you for changing our lives.
A lot of friends in TeamUp International. A lot of friends.
And for the first time in 19 years, I've got good cholesterol, I've got good triglycerides, and if you want to see a walking miracle, I am one. And it's all thanks to TeamUp.
We're going to become a family in this company. We're going to get to know each other personally, and by sharing our stories of ourselves and our customers.
My whole working career life has been for someone else, and now I'm finally doing something for myself. I am my own boss, and I love working for myself, and this is turning into a great family business.
Everybody that's taken the product and lost weight on it, please stand.
I lost 80 pounds in like 9 months. Since then, I've lost over 100 and have been able to keep it off. My doctor had told me I needed to lose weight to have a baby, so I went on TeamUp and Superfood, lost about 12 more pounds, and was able to go ahead and get pregnant. So that's a good thing.
My very favorite product really is Golden Bond.
I love the products. I feel fantastic on the products.
That's what's so nice about this, because there's people that you've never met, but they're still in your family.
TeamUp is networking's finest company.
Our major philosophy is to make a good world better.
It's things like this, changing people's lives and helping them to come up.
It's helped a lot of things in my life. Be able to stay home with my 2 children. I do this full-time as a home-based business.
If you have a dream and if you have a goal, you can make it too.
I'm just really blessed because there's so many wonderful people in my downline, and I'm really happy to be a part of this team. I'm impressed with the people at the home office and the way they handle our calls and the speediness with which we get our orders. Just so many good things about this company, and I've been in this industry for a long time, and this is the best one, and this is the last one.
Reach for the future, let go of today. Tomorrow will bring a new dawn. Take to the challenge your own special way when you reach out above and beyond.
Well, this day we're excited about the program and getting underway. We're happy about your presence here today. And without further ado, it is my great and distinct pleasure to bring to the platform just now a man that we all know, love, and admire, a man who is founder of this company, and a man who's our executive vice president, Mr. Bill Goins. Let's give him a nice hand. Bill Goins.
I started in about 1982 and been fortunate enough to build about 5 large organizations. But the only problem with that is about the time I got where I wanted to be, 12 months to 18 months down the road, and that was about the life of them, getting ready to get that big check and that big organization that sort of disappear for one thing or another. And 2 of those 5 was very substantial organizations. One of them I was able to in 1 month do over $100,000 in my first full month in the business, and $75,000 of that was in the first 6 levels. I just sort of overwhelmed that company, and at that time I said, that's it. I'm not going through this again. I decided to do TeamUp International, and the reason we did that is because we used to call it a home for the homeless. Be able to earn a living, to doing what you want to do, get up every morning and go do what you want to do. I can't stay in the bed when the sun gets up because I got to get up and I got to go because there's things I want to do. I do every day exactly what I want to do, and that's really neat, and that's what's really neat about this business. We had dinner last night, Lenny and Larry and myself and the families, and we had a lot of fun, and people have more fun than anybody. You know that? Do you know that people have more fun than anybody? But again, I just really appreciate y'all coming out this morning and thinking about 3 years ago when we started and the dreams that we had, and to look back and see y'all here this morning and see how your lives has been changed because someone invited someone to a meeting a little over 3 years ago. Really small things changes people's lives. And I want to introduce a lady just a few minutes that's had an enormous change of life. And she can tell you about that, her direction and things that she was doing has sort of changed. And got to thinking last night, Kathy, my executive assistant, and I were just sort of sitting and trying to relax after all the excitement and sort of talking and just thinking about just one little thing that you do changes somebody's life. But had I sponsored Lynn or Jane, what's happened there? That's just think about someone that you sponsored or someone that sponsored you in this business and helped you, and where you are at today and where you would have been today if someone hadn't reached out and sponsored you. This is a people business. This is a people helping people business. Year I've been tied up mostly to corporate, trying to do some things. And the first year and a half I spent almost full time in the field, helping people build a downline. I spent a lot of time with Don Van Dyke and his organization, and grew to be the largest organization in the company. Over half the volume is in that organization. And I guess a lot of you here is part of that organization. It's just a typical story of this company. As I said, we didn't have in the beginning a lot of superstars come into this organization. This was just a group of people that enjoyed the product, used the product, was very successful on the product, and told a few people. But anyway, would Miss Judy Urquhart come forward, please? Where you at, Judy? How are you this morning?
Nervous.
Nervous. That's okay. That's okay. I'm really proud of you, and your story. And really, I'm proud of you for the main reason is because you sort of built your business like I have several of mine over the years. And that's just sort of reaching out and touching people. And, with that telephone thing, it's reach out and touch somebody. That's basically the way this business works. And in the beginning, that's sort of the way Judy did. And we was talking just a few minutes before she came up here. Judy did not get to where she was at over 6 months or over 1 year. It's been almost how long, Judy?
It's about 3 years. It'll be 3 years in August.
About 3 years. I believe when I first heard your story, you mentioned something about you had a little granddaughter or grandson that you'd like her mother to come home and take care of, and that's the reason you got in the business. Could you sort of tell us a little bit about why you got in the business and how it happened?
Well, first of all, I got in the business because I really like the products. I've never been involved in multi-level before in my life. I didn't understand anything of it. I didn't even understand what a leg meant. I thought the only thing that leg meant was what I stood on. So I just kind of started using the products, and I really believed in them, and I lost weight, and I was feeling good. And, of course, I wanted to share it with my children. And then all of a sudden, they realized it was working. And I thought, well, this would be a real good family business. I have daughters that have children, and then I got my one daughter who lives in Salem by me, and she has a grandson, and I thought, well, this would be a good opportunity for her to get into it so she could stay home with her child.
What was your first goal? What was the goal that you was looking for to sort of allow Terry to come home?
What was my first goal?
Yes.
It was for her to quit work and be with her child.
And that took about how much money?
Well, at first I started with maybe $100, and I was excited. I said, "Oh, I'm getting my products free."
Yeah, but what would you feel like that Terry could come home and sustain her income? About what figure? What figure was you looking for at that time?
Well, for her to have enough money to be able to stay home and support herself and her child, so she didn't have to go out and work out in the field, but work with TeamUp. And she started using the products, and she really thought they were really good too. And so she started using it, and now she's involved in the business. In fact, I got two other daughters I got one other daughter in Seattle that's pretty active, and then I got another daughter that's in Seattle that wants to start being active.
So maybe you're just looking for like $1,200-$1,500 a month. Is that what you was looking for?
Yeah, if it was that, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You felt that would do it, and
Yeah.
then you just started.
Yeah.
And things don't happen. And I knew at one time I was following Judy really closely, and I looked, and between Judy and Terry and another one that was part of her family, they was doing over $20,000 a month. And the thing to say this is that did not happen in the beginning. That took a lot of hard work. Went to a lot of places, talked to a lot of people to make that happen, and she just kept reaching out and touching. And she really cares about people. And when we put these products in people's hands and follow up on them and make sure they use these products correctly, these products work, and people want to know more about them. And your first check was what again?
Oh, it was about $100, $110, and that's, like I said, was enough to pay for my products free, because I was just excited. That's what I really wanted to. And then when everybody saw what it was doing to me, then it just kind of multiplied.
And then you went along there for a year, and you were sort of like in the 1100s,
It kind of went up.
1200s.
In fact, it's really funny. I got a story. When I first got my big check, I thought, "Oh, I better not cash this. They made a mistake."
And how
I
much
thought there was
that?
a mistake on this, and I better not cash it for a while. So I kind of kept it in my drawer, and I thought, I'm going to be getting a phone call.
And how much was that big check?
Oh, well, I thought at that time it was maybe $2,000.
Right.
I thought that was pretty good. I didn't, because especially with my intention of first getting into the business, I just thought, well, just to get going. And then I started getting nervous when I started getting those big checks.
I don't want to put Judy down, but I just like to make a mention is that if I can do it, and somebody from Kentucky that doesn't talk very well, and when they do get someplace important, they lose their voice, and Judy, a grandmother that just wants to try to better her family a little bit better so that the mother can come home and take care of their kids. That's the main goal. And now to come up, and I think her last month's check was like $17,000. That's pretty good. And guess what? The opportunity is still there. We still got little less than 30,000 distributors in our company. Amway's got over 1 million. Murray Kay's got over 500,000 people. They're still sponsoring. There's still opportunities for those people out there. We are still poised to take off. This company is poised in the next 2 years to really get going. And the ones of you all that's got those 5, 10, 15, 20 people in place, that's trained, that's reaching out, we're going to teach you a little bit more about the business, and we're going to teach you a little bit more how to build your business. We stressed an awful lot about product and product knowledge and product training, but we really haven't reached out enough and told you how to sponsor people. And unless you sponsor people, you cannot get to where Judy is at. It takes people to get to that level. And it doesn't take a lot of people. It just takes 4 to 8 people. And it only takes 4 good ones. In fact, it only takes 1 good one. Where's Chuck at? It only takes 1 good one, doesn't Chuck? So it just takes 1 good one. 1 good one. So think about that. Okay? And again, I want to turn it back over to Larry. And Judy, you got anything you'd like to say as you're down line?
Oh, I really appreciate them.
Let's just look at it. Everybody that's in Judy's downline, let's see this. Would you please stand? Let's see who's here. Look at this. There's all of your children. All of your children. Okay, fantastic, fantastic.
Well, thank you, Bill. And I do thank my downline, too. They're wonderful.
Another nice hand for Judy and Bill.
But Terry Mart is very special to me and to Bill. And, you know, the three of us, we're like the three musketeers. We spend a lot of time together. And he's become a very important part of my life. And I've learned a great many things about network marketing from him. He's been very helpful to me, and he's been an absolute necessity in this program. He's been a very essential part, and I don't think that we could have done it without him. We couldn't, could we? So we're very excited to have him, and we want to bring him up on the stage for a little bit right now. Come on, Terry.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Great.
Here? Everybody excited?
Yeah.
I tried to get you to clap this morning. You wouldn't do that. This afternoon we're going to try it again, okay? You guys have been wonderful, and you've allowed us to go through sort of our, touchy-feely thing. I tell you, if you're emotional like I am, it's been tough this morning, hasn't it? I mean, you looked around to find a Kleenex or whatever. Well, we're going to change gears now. You came here for a reason. I don't know what your particular reason was, but I promise you that before the afternoon is over, you will have received what you came for. As we begin to do this change, now look, you came here wanting to know how do I do this business, or this reason or that, and we're about to head into that. So make sure your pencils are sharp and you're ready to go. You've allowed us this morning to share in kind of the part that really is important to us, and that's you and how we feel about you and how we feel about each other. But now we're going to get into the how-to. And I want to tell you that the guy that's going to begin this knows how to. I want to just share one thing, and that is, every one of us has had some kind of experience sometime when our upline bugged us, right? They call it the wrong time or whatever, Call you up and ask if you've ordered yet. Well, what about you? Have you ordered yet? We've all experienced that, right? I want to tell you what, I was in a hospital one time, and this guy came to my hospital room to check on me. I'm not talking about, he came to me to the hospital room to talk to me about the business, not to see if I was healthy or not, see? There are a lot of ways to succeed in business, and what we're going to share with you today is not the only way, but it is a way that we know works, okay? I know it works because he's put it on me over and over and over again. Like Wayne said, I was sort of on Bill's list. When something good was there, he called me, and I guarantee you we've caught some good things together. We've always built an organization, and again, it might not be the only way, but I learned a long time ago after trying to reinvent the wheel 47 times, it's probably better to go ahead and duplicate somebody that's doing it right until you get bigger than they are, and then you can teach them how to do it. One of the things that you're going to want to do with these materials that we've prepared for you today, after you get, absorb these and you get home and stuff, you're going to want to get back involved with the leadership, because you've got a tremendous amount of leadership in this room, and we've spent the last 2 days from virtually morning to night ripping the top of their heads off and pouring this stuff in, and they've got it. All you have to do is be prepared to share with them. And once you get this message, get focused. Just get focused, because I'm about to introduce you to someone who is so focused. From 9 o'clock in the morning till 2 o'clock in the morning, Mr. Focus, Bill Goins.
Thank you, Terry. That's a true story. In fact, I drove for 4 hours to the hospital. Hey, Terry. That's great. But he had a need, and I want to feel it. But if I helped him get what he wanted out of life, I'd sure get what I want.
still are a few basic principles that I've learned over the years. When I started network marketing in 1982, I started out and became very, very successful. Now, network marketing has came a long way since 1982. You can do this thing in 4 weeks, 4 months, 4 years. It really doesn't matter, because most people in this room is going to have to work at least another 4 years before they retire. But what if it takes you 4 years to get to where you want to go? What if it takes you 4 years to find 4 people? What are you going to do in the next 4 years that's going to allow you to make an extra $4,000 a month? You probably is not available. If it was, you'd be out there doing that, you wouldn't be here. Okay? So just remember, it's your own time frame. 4 weeks, 4 months, 4 years, for $4,000. Okay? Minimum. Second step is, out of those successful people, you identify 2 of them and you live with them. You make them successful. Okay? You find somebody that passes the test, makes a 15 or more on it, okay? And those are really good people. If you make a 0, you've got great potential. You're going to have to work a little harder. But if you got people that you've got people making 15 or more, they're way ahead of the game. Okay? So you find 2 people that do that. You make sure they're your business partners. If you're going to be in business with somebody, you're going to be their partner, you need to spend a little time with them. Because you can't have somebody order an inventory and buy a lot of stuff, and the guy over here writing checks and never talk. And it's going to get upside down on your business is, okay? And remember, this is a business, run the business principle. So you find you 2 people, you talk to them. And you help those people find 2. It's harder to go from 0 to 500 than it is from 500 to 5,000, because you can get results. And once it gets started, all you got to do is pull the kerosene on the gasoline now. You know? Go off a little bit and sort of average that down, just get your gallon, throw on it. Follow it. Follow this business, results, sales. Remember, if I don't want to remember anything else to tell you today, is find out where this life at. And most of the life is in the new distributors. Find out where there's life and give it more life. At this time, we're going to try to get started, move on into some really great things this afternoon, and some people you'll be able to identify with. I think after you hear some of these people's testimony stories today, that you'll realize that you can become a crown too. So at this time, I would like to bring some of the people up. Trish said, "It's me." Hey, it's me. Well, there's a lot of people out there that's been hollering, "It's me," but their effort hasn't been necessarily matched to their mouth. So we've got just a few people here today that would like to recognize, that stick their hand up and say, "It's me." And I'm next. It's me. And not only they're saying that, they're proving that. Some of these people, in fact, Kathy could come on up here at this point. She can help me with them. She talks with them all the time. And after I chew them out a little bit and say, "Well, that will work too," she sort of, "No, he didn't really mean it that way." So they don't quit, they stay around. But they said not only it's me, but they're proving it. They're next. They're next. Some of them the next silvers. In fact, some of them the next gold. Okay? And some of the people who see later on afternoon are going to be the next diamond. And again, we really thank you and appreciate you for paying attention to us. Try to cram a lot into this. I do a 5-hour presentation when I do it, and I'm traveling around. And we'll come back and do some workshops. But we gave you enough information to get started and stick your hand up and say, "I need it." Okay? So people can come up here after a while and tell you that they're ready to help you. They've got the results, and results sales. And you need those results. They've committed to help you, and they'll recommit to that. Because we've lived with them for the last 3 months. And they've said, "I'm ready to help my people." They realize now that it's going to be hard for you to get there unless they help you. And they realize that. So at this time, we would like to bring, I'm next, it's me up here. And, okay, that's great, Linda, that you volunteered. You can go first.
Linda's got a great story to tell us, and we're really proud of her.
This is Linda Gaynor, and she's part of Rhonda People's downline. And she's been working really hard. In fact, traveling all over Canada, building her downline, while Rhonda's been over Hawaii, laying back. And Linda's been saying, "Rhonda, it's me."
Well, I got in this business because of Rhonda. And at first, Rhonda and I just kind of played with it. And when the checks started coming in, we go, "Wow, this is really nice, $400 or $500, and thought maybe we can go somewhere with this." And she went with it, and I played with it. And so then I started taking it more serious, and my checks got bigger. I got up to $1,500. It was just great. I enjoyed every second of it. I don't do anything I don't want to do like Bill. I get up in the morning, and my husband goes, you work all the time. And I go, no, I don't. I'm having fun. And that's exactly what I do. I have fun. Enjoy their family and life.
One of the things that sort of attribute to your renewed success too is sort of calling everybody down your list that made an order to say thank you.
Yes, in fact, I've got a lady here today, Nancy Jennings. She's one of those that is kind of down on my leg, and she's very interested in the product and helping people too. And so I've been calling her, and we call each other, and it's really been beneficial to get my volume up, even though, that's not my purpose, is to get my volume up. I mean, it is, but it isn't. I want to make money, but I also want to help people. And so I have two priorities in my life.
Thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.
They are definitely on their way, and they are next. This is Cindy and Howard Harrison. We're really proud of them. They are another one of the main reasons of Team 96, because they would not give up. Like Terry's dream. They didn't know how it was going to work, but they kept asking, and then sort of kept holding. Okay? Cindy?
Well, I tried to think of all the different things that I wanted to say, and I think mostly it was the help. Rhonda found us. She called us one day and said, "Hi, how are you?" And I'm like, "Who is this?" She had looked at her downline and seen that we were sort of working it, but not. And I can say honestly that until Team 96, I have stumbled my way into this situation, and Howard's been pushing me the whole time. Howard's the detail man, and I'm the people person, and we don't always agree on how to do business, but we know that we want to go to the same place. So I told Terry and Kathy and Bill that what happened is the door blew open last week. I finally got it. I love people, and I want people to be happy and healthy, and so I can talk all day long about the product. The first person I talked to was Joyce. And I literally gave her the product because she had no money, promised her she wouldn't have to do the business and she wouldn't have to exercise. 1 week later, she called me up, "How do you do this business?" And I said, "I don't know, talk to Howard." I gave it away free. I was happy. She was happy. She lost weight. She's 4 or 5 dress sizes. It's unbelievable. And that began our first downline. And finally dawned on me, I can do this. I can do this. And I can do it with his help. And what I mean by that is I talk all day long to people. And what happened is the doors have opened. I said this week more people have called me for orders, and I think it's me that's changed, not the people. And but then when they need help or they need technical information or whatever, I just hand the phone to Howard. I was talking to a friend, and she was all discouraged, and I encouraged her, and I got her to start taking some of the products again, but then she asked me about the tax info, and I said, well, hold on a second, and I'm running through the house calling for Howard, and then he comes in and takes over the technical part of it and tells her what a good tax write-off at a home-based business is. So we are a good team, but I had to learn what my strengths were and what I could do.
I would like to bring up a couple of Kathy's pretty special people. She talks with them a lot, and they're really dear to our hearts, and they've been a big part of encouraging us, because we had a few aspects. Maybe I'm just too rough, and maybe I'm too tough, and maybe everybody can't take it. I knew Greg Murray could take it, I even kicked him a few times to the telephone, take the wood chip. But this, can the average distributor, some of these ladies really have to take this guy, and can he really take this? And so we just sort of throw that little bait and figure that, yes, they can. And not only can they do it, take it, they enjoy it, they like it, they bought into it. But this time, I would like to bring up people that not only the next crayons, they said, I want to be, they're going to be the next gold. Okay? I want the next gold. At this time, let's bring up Janie Hullard and Lynn Barker.
What's Lynn? She's the... Well, I
just want to say that I think we all are excited today about what's happening, and I think that we now know that this is available to any of us who just want to take that step. Probably we were lucky in the beginning because the products were so great they sold themselves, and our business just grew, and it was wonderful. But I had no idea what I was doing business-wise. I had no idea. I loved my downline. I worked with them. I had 350 in my downline, and I was one of those people that went 6 levels deep to work with whoever it was I needed to call. But I just wanted to talk to them. I really didn't know what to tell them to do. And I think when we talked, Phil, that time, and you said all the things that we had been talking about that we needed to do, we needed to start over, we needed to read the quick start, we needed to work with our downline, get new customers, follow up with them, all those things we knew, but we kind of just put on the back burner. I think once we started realizing that that's all we had to do, it was easy to do over again. And we found that we've been growing. And with your help, you validated all that for us and showed us the steps we needed to take, and our volumes are growing. I want them to grow faster, and I know they will, but they at least are growing. And I'm really excited about that, and I thank Team 96 for giving us that encouragement.
At this time, I want to bring a very special person, a very special friend back, and share some excitement. And one of the things that I'd like you to understand is that as a group, a very small group of people in this room that made over $1 million in TeamUp. And they've been able to do that because of one of the main reasons that TeamUp is in their 5th year. And the reason that TeamUp is in the 5th year is that somebody was able to pay the bills, ship the products, and send the commission checks out. So I'm telling you, that when the commission checks quit coming, I know we've got all these great testimonies, but I guarantee you, if the checks stop 90 days, there won't be anybody here. Okay, you'll find somebody else. And it's just the way it is. It's not rude. It's not. That's just the way reality is. You know, we can do things for a while for charity, but one of these days, if you got $1 million, then you can keep on doing that. But if most of you had $1 million, you wouldn't be here. But at this time, I would like to bring up a very special friend of mine, Mr. Rennie Olson.
Well, I won't take a lot of your time, but I do want to just cover a few subjects, and one of them being the National Convention, because I'm really, really excited about that. Before I get into that, however, what I'd like to do is to go through some of the things I've experienced in my life in the multi-level industry. And one of them is that people in Bill and I's position oftentimes get jealous of distributors making more money than they do. And that's a real fact. I mean, it happens in a lot of companies. And when they start writing those huge, huge checks, they try to figure out how they can get more of it themselves and pay out less of it to the people. Bill and I have never done that kind of thing. In fact, we're really excited about writing the big checks. I can tell you that when we write the big checks to the people, and checks to everybody, but the real large checks, the bigger those checks get, the more excited we become, because we get to talk about, we get to brag about those checks that are going out to those people. And we know that our company is really growing as those checks grow. So that's a really exciting thing to us. I have a friend in the industry, first acquaintance, I shouldn't call him friend because I'm not real close, but acquaintance in the industry that makes over $500,000 a month in their paycheck in most level. Now that's a lot of money, $500,000 a month. And I can tell you I would be extremely excited to write a $500,000 check to somebody. And I look forward to that day that we can do that, because we are going international. I'm really excited about that potential possibility. But we have a lot of really good checks. I mean, we write $20,000 and $30,000 checks to people, and that's a lot of money. And I can tell you that there's a young lady in this room right now that may not even know this, but her crown check alone this month is over $5,000. And that's Judy Urquhart. Just her crown portion. Now her check for her 5-level downline is much more than that, but just the crown portion is $5,000 and 83 cents. Or $83, don't forget.
But I want to impress upon you that these are your leaders, and I want you to get behind them and support them, and realize these are the people that are going to reach down and pull you up to the next level. So support these guys, and you know, tell your organizations about them. They're wonderful, wonderful people. Get to be in this group so that you can share time with us. You know, we get together and come in a day ahead of time and just love each other, basically is what it boils down to, sharing experiences, where we've been since the last time we saw each other and so forth. Become one of us. We want you to. These are the people that are going to pull you to the top. So I really want you to get a feeling for who these people are, and that's why we're going to bring them before you today. Kathy, if you and Bill will come on. This is really, really important to us, and I think it's going to be important to you. This is, you know, we're all a part of this, but these guys right here, this is Team 96. So give them a big round of applause.
I need you to realize that you may not just think about this, what's coming up, as much of a how-to. Let me tell you what, it's the biggest why in the world. In fact, some level will tell you, I'm not even sure they know exactly how the marketing plan totally works. All they know if they sell products, market people, they get paid. Special effort to fly in to Vegas and have to jump on a plane in just a few minutes and run back over there. But we really appreciate Barbara Ursenbach for coming over and going to share her testimony. And these next few people coming up here, you'll see, I guarantee somewhere you can identify with them, and also some of your friends can, and say, if they can do it, I can too. And they spent a special effort to come over here today and share their how-to with you. At this time, I'd like you to give a big standing ovation to Barbara Ursenbach, one of our crowns.
This business has changed my life, and it can change yours too. I worked for some 20 years as a territory manager for a major cosmetic company. I worked, I traveled, I just worked so hard, and all of a sudden, this company sold out to the French. They downsized, just like Bill was talking about today, and they expected double the amount of work for the same amount of pay and cut your bonus. So I decided this is just not for me. And so at the time, I was thinking of getting into another business because I'm not going to stay working the way I had been for less pay. And this is it. I'm not working for someone else anymore to make someone else's dream. So this makes me shed tears, I tell you. So for a while, I continued to work, and I put this business on a part-time basis. Well, pretty soon I got making more money with this business than I was with the cosmetic company, so I said, forget it, I'm leaving you. So I left, and it was the beginning of the greatest days of my life. 1 month after I left, my former regional manager, who traveled all over the United States, was overweight and disgusted also with that company, left the cosmetic company and came with me. And we often laugh as we fax, we talk on the phone. Gee, how hard we used to work. And we made pretty good money for a woman. I had a brand new car every 2 years from this company, made bonuses off the drug chains and all. But I worked extremely hard, and I traveled a lot. And I have to laugh now, and she says the same thing, on how hard we worked for that amount of money. Mm-hmm. This has given me the freedom to be my own person and to have my own business. And to be able to be there when I want to work, I do, and when I don't, I don't. But usually I do. I work every day because I have to stay focused. And I have to stay focused on my goal because I know I'm not there yet. Because even though I'd been 20 years as a territory manager, I knew nothing about the multi-level business. Zero. He'll tell you. Nothing. He still knows so much more than I do. And he told me, you just keep on going, and he gave me the encouragement. Now, you're going to have a check coming in next month, a bonus check. When I got my first bonus check and it was $50, I was just thrilled. I just couldn't believe that it was starting to come. And then when he would tell me it was going to be more, it was very hard for me to believe that this was just coming. And all I can tell you is, like they said, have a dream, pursue those goals, and become financially free.
Bring up Silver Crown Director, Marion Zeta. You don't know what to say. You know exactly what to say. You're the brain behind this deal. Talk to me.
have something to tell me.
That's you at home.
I'll tell you, I've seen, when we first started, we had so many worries after that first year of not having an income because we'd retired. I know she'd be saying this if she was talking. And we had ups and downs, bills and worries. This lady used to work till 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. She loves to sew and do crafts. And she would work till 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. Never complained to do extra things to get the money so we could buy the products to get out and retail to people, to meet people like Luther and Marianne and Alicia and Rhonda. You know, to get this business going. And I think that's what we have to do. You have to sacrifice at first. But that 3 to 5 years is nothing. I mean, like Bill says, what other job, what else can you do to earn this type of an income in 3 to 5 years? Other than bank robbery, it won't get you. Isn't that what you wanted to say, Matt?
Yes.
At this time, we'd like to bring up another very, very special person. Barry Thurman is from San Diego, and most of you all know Barry.
Let me say this. First of all, I want to say something that Zita did not say. Last night, I had the pleasure of listening to Zita talk once again about her beloved family. I've never met her mom and dad. But she tells the story of a father and a mother who cared about their kids and brought them over from one side of Mexico into the dream of the United States, who worked very, very hard. The kids would get up before dawn many times and get into the family car and travel a distance to a little tortilla factory that they had put together, and how customer by customer they put together a business. I mean, this woman has been bred to business ownership and entrepreneurial enterprises since birth. And that is why I would follow her anywhere as far as her value system, etc. That's why she can attract a lady like Rhonda Ruckman, who has one avowed goal, and that is to be a full-time mom to her child. That's what we're about in TeamUp International, is helping one another to achieve those worthwhile goals that will make families stronger and a stronger nation. I don't know where I got all into that real quick, but that's really what drives us in this business. There are a lot of ways to make money, folks, but if you don't have passion for it, you'll die with a lot of money and not a lot of friends or family. Does that make sense to you? It's about relationships. It's about the teamwork. We have good people running this company, and we are poised for greatness. I dreamed about standing on this stage and doing this for 20 years. I started a long, long time ago with a soap company, and I never could get past their concept of how you invite somebody. You kind of, like a stealth fighter, you sneak up on them and say, I got this thing I want you to come to. I can't tell you, I'd have to kill you, but come on over, it's great, you know, type thing. So I couldn't master that. I couldn't master that. Then I got years ago into algae, when algae wasn't popular. Well, algae's not that popular today, but it's called superfood today. But Iris got me into algae, and that's where we became dear friends. And then later into another company, always probably looking for me. I asked a diamond once, what makes a difference about one company and another? And he says, I think the reason is not quite all the company. It has to do with your personal growth. And what I've learned is you got to love the people. If you're going to be a leader, you got to love them through the thick and the thin. You got to love them when they don't love you, and when they don't even want to talk with you. But you keep loving and you keep dreaming, and you will get there. What gave me the opportunity, or what caused me to use the product, was my love and trust of this woman. She'd never give me anything that wasn't good for me. True? It's the credibility. It's the relationships. Bill did something, and I wrote it down. I'll always use it. How many of you came in on an ad? Nobody in the room came in on an ad, but the first question every new distributor asks is, what do you think about putting ads? Why? Because you don't want to get belly to belly and nose to nose. It's uncomfortable, right? Because you don't know really and truly what you have to offer. Never give up. Never give up. and never give up, and learn to work as a team. As a kid, look on your own paper. In the workroom, do your own work. But you get into this business, like I say, nobody on the planet Earth worries about you taking our job. We want you, like all parents want all kids, to do it faster and better than we ever dreamed of doing it in half the time. I love hearing from the downline. I love getting on the phone and doing a three-way across the country. It is fun to do. I live a passionate life. Thank you very much.
She is a silver crown, and that's great. She made a little over $80,000 last year, and we know that a grandma can just sort of piddle around and pick up an extra $80,000. You know, use ours. She's here. She's your credibility. And guess what? We talked a little bit yesterday afternoon and last night, and I said, Iris, you know, guess what you can make at a Ruby? And that's what we are. And the next year, this is going to be our next Ruby. Because Iris is standing there, I'm next. I'm next. She's one of our very special people. And this time, like Kathy, to
Well, Bill has already said everything that we can possibly say about Iris, except that we truly love this woman. And everybody here that is in her organization, this is the most giving person. She cares about you guys, and she's available. And it's just, she is one of the most special people in the whole world, and I dearly love her. Come up here, Iris.
Yeah.
I'll probably cry. I'm really pleased, and I think about Barbara a lot because I think we have the same sort of feeling about people. I really never thought I'd get into another multi-level. And I had lunch with a friend one day, and I noticed he'd lost about 20 pounds, and I hated him. Until he pulled out a little packet out of his pocket and gave it to me, and he said, "Don't use it until tomorrow morning." And by 2 in the afternoon, I thought about a cookie, and I didn't want one. So I called him and I said, "Where can I get some of this stuff?" And he said, "Well, I just happen to be going up to Rancho Bernardo. I can meet you." I said, "Okay, bring me 2 bottles." And so he brought 2 bottles, and a friend of mine came to visit, and her daughter was getting married, and she needed to lose some weight too. So she said, "Well, what is this stuff?" And I said, "Well, I just happen to have an extra bottle here. I guess I could let you have it." And so I gave it to her, and the bride-to-be wanted to lose some weight, and she wanted some, and somebody else wanted some, and this friend kept saying, "Well, you know, there's a good marketing plan that goes with this." No, I'm not interested. And so I kept selling products. And I thought, gee whiz, I'm paying the retail price, and they're paying the retail price, but somebody's making a profit on this. And so again, he offered the opportunity to me, and I said, "Well, okay." He said, "Well, I'll bring an application." So he came to meet me with some more bottles and gave me this. I said, "No, I don't want the application. I'll come to your office and fill it out, and then you can help me phone my first order in." And I ordered $1,900, and by the time it came, it was gone. By the time my order came, it was gone because he loaned me products while I was waiting for my order. Anyway, I got Barry, and I got Gary, and I got Zeta, and I got Gail, and I got a group of hard-working people up in Norco, Donna and Veronica and Judy, and anyway, I just feel really, really very fortunate. It's been a wonderful few years, and I have met so many, many wonderful people. And I have found that being in this kind of business for 30 years, most of my friends are from some multi-level marketing company. And as I said, this is the best one. This is the last one.
And a good work ethic, and she's got a tremendous, tremendous story. There's nobody out there can tell me that you can't do this business because I know it can be done. But after you hear another story, and I want to make her tell all of her story, is that when you go out there, and you go back and you offer this opportunity to tell someone that says, well, I can't do that, then you can say, well, I know you can, because I've heard somebody that had a lot less going for them when they started than you did. At this time, I'd like to welcome Manetta Williams up here.
Well, the story that I wanted to tell is the way I got involved in TeamUp was basically I needed to lose weight. That's the first part of it. My girlfriend Donna had called me and said I have this weight loss product. She met me at the beach with my girls one weekend. Literally out of the trunk of her car, we were pulling products out. And I'm like, well, what's this? Well, what's this? They're like, give it all to me. I just want it all. Within 2 weeks, I had discovered that, talking about it, I had $800 worth of orders. I called her up and I said, I need to come down Saturday and pick up a few orders. And she said, okay, well, what time? We arranged it, and I get down and I start laying them out on her office floor, all these orders, and she goes, this is $800. And I said, yeah, can't you give me the product? And she says, well, we have this ambassador program where all you need is $1,000 and you can become a director. Do you realize what that means? No. Well, I don't have time to do this, Donna. I have to work. My husband just lost his job. The company went out of business. No, you need to look at doing this. And I said, well, let me think about it. Give me the product, and I'll either pay you back when I collect the money, or I'll decide to do this business. Well, all the way home, an hour and a half, I'm thinking, $200. Where am I going to get $200? Well, I'm dieting. I'm eating less. There it is, right there. So I went home, and I'm convinced that this is a risk I think I should take. No matter what, I'm not going to lose the money. If I already have $800, I've already made my profit back from the 40% if I did it. So I convinced myself, okay, we can do this. But the next problem was I didn't even have a credit card. So I went out and asked a friend if I could borrow her credit card. And she said, sure. She had faith that I could do this business also. And in May, as I mentioned, my husband lost his job, and I was the only one making the income. So you could see there was a potential then for me to help supply some more money. I mean, I had $30,000 a year income, a mortgage, car payment, daycare, everything else that we can imagine. So it just kept growing. I met Jamie and Lynn and just started creating more and more teams and more people to work with. And I mean, the first time I had a meeting and she didn't show up, I called her up and I said, why weren't you at the meeting? She said, who is this? What meeting? And that's how we started kind of our little group up there. Something else I was sharing yesterday with the people at breakfast. Everybody knows me now as Vice President of Human Resources at my employer, and everybody thinks, well, she's been in a high-status job for a long time. Well, as I explained to them, the last 4 years, I have doubled my income there because they're worried I'm going to leave, so they keep promoting me. And many people wonder why I keep doing it full-time, but I enjoy both. I enjoy it all. I enjoy helping people. I'm in recruiting. I get to recruit people and employ people in that respect, and it's a medical firm, so it's just, I love it all.
She's not bothered to tell everyone that she has 2 children, and she is a corporate executive, and she is a Gold Crown. So I think that's amazing.
And you can do it. If you have it in your heart and soul, see where you want to be, you can do it.
Go out and find a successful person. That's all you got to do. Manetta made a 30-something on the 34, 36, 38 on the test. And because you find a successful person, they're going to be success at anything they want to do. And double what you was 4 years ago. So these business concept works. Find somebody successful, and they can't hold you down. Tell us how you started out in life, Manetta.
Well, they know I left home at 15. It was okay telling you guys. I left home at 15, and I actually went and lived with another family. And I don't have a high school degree. I don't have a college education. I have, you guys make me I never got emotional.
I went to, on the test, if you made good grades in school, you got a -4. So I went to 4 different schools 7 times, you know. And the reason was that was not because I wasn't smart enough to pass the material, is that they wanted me to be a pharmacist, and that's the last thing I want to do. I want to be a football coach. And so that's what it's all about. And remember, you know, these things start moving up. This drive sets in you, and guess what? These skills are learned. And look for successful people, and this is a successful person, and by being able to her relate, this is hard, but now nobody can tell Manetta that you can't make it in this life. You can't tell me that you can't make it in life, you know. You can't tell me that this won't work. And we need to share these stories, because guess what? Somebody out there is just like you. A little bit of belief. And so maybe she can, I can. This is what this is all about, sharing stories, giving hope. Because remember how many times I said if those people believed the check would show up in their mailbox, they would get involved. You know, I think Manetta's made over $180,000. She's been in TeamUp. With your friends, if they could believe that they could make an extra $170,000 over the next 3 or 4 years, they might get involved. That's what this is all about. It's making people believe. It's results. It's sharing. It's being real. Let me tell you something. These people that's been up here today, and you all in this room, are real. You know, you did it. Nobody gave it to you. And that's what makes it much more important. So at this time, we would like to start with some people that we'll give a very special thanks for. They paid their fares and came on down, and just to be with us and be with you and share with you their stories, so that you can give a little bit of hope yourself and go tell your friends. And then when we go to Portland and Seattle, then people here is going to go up and share them. At this time, we'd like to bring up a very special person that's on the way back from Hawaii. And
they're really great people. We're really glad to have them. And they have Rhonda's got a very special sponsor. And her sponsor has a very special sponsor. And, you know, something that I want to say, too, before we bring Rhonda and Greg up here, this is a business, it's a family business. And, you know, Rhonda's sponsor is her sister. And together, these two ladies are unbelievable. It's unbelievable what they can do. And it's just, to me, it's just so exciting to be here and to be part of this, because before I met Rhonda, before I met Manetta, you know, you tend to think that these people are all these big, you know, like, have you ever heard the words highfalutin? You know what I'm talking about? You know, you think these people are, oh, they're not like me. I can't do that. Well, these people they're just like us. They're people who have, you know, like Manetta has got a very demanding job. She's got 2 kids, and she's a gold crown. And, you know, Rhonda just got back from Hawaii, and Greg, and he doesn't even want to come home. He wants to stay over there. So it's just, these people are like us, and just listen to them, because, you know, when you think about it, you think, oh, I can't do this, I can't do this. You can, because Rhonda and Greg are going to come through and tell us how they did it. And then Renee's going to get her chance.
And mahalo. I think that's thank you.
It is good to be back, too. Well, to tell the story, I'll go back a ways. I'm like, well, I can't even remember now, it was saying no network marketing experience whatsoever. We had been self-employed, and I had worked in my self-employed business. I had a few, and one of them that I'd done for years is commercial cleaning. A few people can relate to that one, of my friends, and had done well at it and had done it for a long time. But I had started gaining weight, and I had gotten very, very tired, was sick, and I had a lot of things I wanted to do in life. I had a lot of things that were very important to me. I loved doing a lot of volunteer work, and I just wasn't having the energy or the emotional energy to do hardly any of it. And also ended up with a sick husband, too, which I'll get into that. And so, but I had this sweet little sister who kept shrinking, and she wouldn't tell me what it was, because she wasn't sure it would work. And I thought, well, how small do you have to get before you know it works? It works. I want some of it.
And she just didn't want to mislead me, I think. And she had a friend over there, Judy Urquhart, who kept shrinking, and she made Judy tell her, so it's kind of like she's our adopted mom. And so she did, and we took them, and we both kept shrinking, thinking, this is the best thing since hair color. I know. I mean, you got fake nails, you can get you can take a pill in this way. No, but I have learned to get healthier, and that has been, thank goodness for Dr. Schultz too. But that was kind of the process. But I refused to sign up. She told me, she offered the opportunity, but she's pretty smart, because she wouldn't give me the discount. She wouldn't give me her discount. But so I ended up getting out of my winter Northwest clothes into springtime, and I had to go buy a whole new wardrobe. And all my friends wanted to know what I was doing. It wasn't until the very last day of December 31st that I said, okay, I'm going to sign up. I'm sick and tired of selling all this retail for my sister, giving her all that money, and still getting my bill, my bottle of bill, at not a full discount. So I said, I was afraid of the paperwork, the commitment. I had lots of people try to get me into network marketing, and I didn't want to do it. But I felt so strongly about what this had done for me and what I saw it was happening to other people that I was sharing with. And it was something my sister and I could be involved in together. And so I had only like a piece of the vision that I wanted, and but it had to do with our family being able to be together and have make as much money as you can in the shortest amount of time doing something I love. That was very important to me.
That's still her vision.
That's still my vision.
And it's working.
And so I went on, and it's not all easy. Where's Miss Terry, child? It's not all easy, Terry. And there were the bumps that we were talking about. There would be things come up that weren't always negative, that weren't always people, weren't happy with everything. And I had been happy with everything, so that was discouraging for me at times. Greg ended up in the hospital with diabetes and scared me to death. And I wanted him to get better, and he didn't want to take the product faithfully or anything. He had a hard time with that for a while.
You want an artificial stimulation.
Yeah, he thought.
Whether it's tonic or the Tremesi, Just to add to that, I didn't want anything artificial. I resented the fact that. I resented the fact that I was on insulin. This was humiliating to me. Maybe some can relate to that. But finally I made a commitment to my health, and these products have...
The reason he is crying some is because I just about didn't have him. He is a very active man and has a lot to give, but I was losing him. He was doing everything the doctor said. He was taking his insulin. He did better on his diet than most men and women that I know that are diabetics, and he still did not have the energy. He couldn't function. Things that were very, very special to us that we were doing together, he had to quit doing. And it's okay. And I wanted him with me.
We do that too.
And I wanted him with me, really bad. And I wanted my sister and brother-in-law to be with me too, and do this together as a business. And he eventually experienced what it felt like to feel good for a little window of time.
It took a long time.
Yeah.
Probably 2 years.
Before he would keep taking it regularly.
Because I still resented the fact that I had to take these to feel good.
Yeah.
But I had to do something every day to feel good.
Yeah.
But I got my life back.
Yeah.
And you cannot take these products away from me.
That's our big worry. Don't take our products away.
I would do anything to get them.
Yeah. And so we wouldn't be able to do all these things that we wanted to do and to be together. And it isn't always easy. If anyone knows what it's like to have blood sugar problems, you emotionally go up and down, and I have the messy house. And he's the clean person.
The neat freak.
Neat freak.
Very word
But what happened is, you in the business, it takes a while. The first 2 years, my bonus checks weren't that big. The third year, that changed. But in the process, I got a little aggravated. I'm not a neat person. I tend to be a very people person. And so the office papers were all over part of the house. And I ended up in the laundry room because that was my favorite place to do my business instead of my office, and drove great nuts. And I put everything up in a cabinet and quit doing it, and promptly my checks started dropping $400 and $500 right away. Because
and that worried me.
I wonder how much I have to go.
Why is this happening? I knew it was my fault.
And so he lets me have my office kind of wherever I want it. And I can cook dinner and be on the phone and talk to Cindy and Howard and all you guys and Marianne, just everybody. And that's what I do. I run it the way I want to run it, and we have a great time together. But you do go through a lot of bumps. If you can hang in there, and I did, when I decided to take it serious, as Linda said, and quit playing, I said, if I can do this, and I'm playing at it, what could I do if I got serious? It could be good. And so I sat, and all you wives who are out there doing this, what I did is I just went to my husband and I said, I want to do this. I think I can do it. I've experienced the products. You like them. You're using them pretty good. And I said, can I have your support in doing this? And he said, well, what do you mean? And I said, I need you there with me at the meetings. I need you there telling people what you love, what you already love. I just want you with me. I want to travel. I want my business in Hawaii, and I want it in Southern California because I live in the rainy Northwest. And I want you with me while I'm doing this. And he said, okay. Once he knew what I wanted and I needed from him, he said, okay. And that's one of my biggest things. And my next one is to have them with me all the time doing it too.
But just to add something, anybody that's married knows that there's a lot of stuff that goes along with all this. Bring two personalities together, and there's just a lot of stuff, right? So as she was trying to create this dream, I would question her on every choice or decision that she was making on it, because I'd been self-employed for 16 years, and this is not how I would go about doing it. So I was thinking, well, is that really going to work? I didn't see the vision that she had. I didn't even have a dream about this business. But as she continued to grow, my business became very, very less important to me, and now TeamUp is our business. I still own the business, but it's not our primary source of income. TeamUp is. And it's a much easier business to enjoy. In fact, it's a much easier business to run. The liability's not as high. The overhead's not as high. If anybody's in the construction business, there's a high overhead. This has become our reality. What took me 16 years to build, to generate a decent income at a lot of expense and hard work, in really 3 years, this business has outproduced mine of 16. That's my story.
We try to point out a little bit of characteristics to everybody. One of the characteristics of this team here is, and especially Rhonda and Greg that really came on board, is that she's been a sponge, an absolute sponge. Everything that I've said, Terry said, Kathy said, she's hung on every word. In fact, we've been up several mornings, 1, 2, 3 o'clock, when she moved to Hawaii, it made it worse, with 2 and 3 hour phone calls. I mean, it's nothing for us to just sit and talk for 2 and 3 hours, and it's not about the weather. It's about how do you do this business. And their volume is double in the last 3 months. And they are reaching down and looking for who's next. We've talked about that. That's a lot. And this is really a great example of network marketing. Because they knew where they want to go. They set their goals. And they've struggled. but they're there, and they're on the road to diamond.
Well, I guess Renee knows who's next.
At this time, we would like to bring up the person responsible for the Miss Hula Girl.
And you know what's so neat about these is that Rhonda and Renee married twin brothers. So this is truly a family business.
Very special people, and we're really proud of them. They're on their way to Ruby. And at this time, I'd like to have Renee and Jerry say something.
Well, I'd like to introduce my wife. We've been married almost 20 years. And for the last 4 years now with TeamUp, Renee really didn't show any interest to try to help generate any income, and so we had a division. I'm not saying that she didn't do her part. That's not what I'm saying. But it was a real distinction. I went out and made the money, and Renee took care of the family. And so it was a real distinction. And then all of a sudden, TeamUp was introduced to us by means of Judy. And we spoke for quite a while about whether or not it was really going to be something that we wanted to bring into the house and get involved in. And finally, we went to Hawaii, and because of Rhonda's vision, we went to Hawaii to support our downline. And Rhonda was over there, and she was working Hawaii, trying to create some business there. And so we went to Hawaii, and not long after that, we come home. And for the first time, while we were in Hawaii, I actually was religious when it comes to taking the herbs. So Renee says, well, let's get involved in the business. And I said, okay, do it. So I've been tagging along with her, and she likewise asked for a commitment, and I says, okay, I'll do it. And I've had a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun. I get to go golfing and enjoy myself, but also I'm with my wife. Our children are with us, and they're not here today, but they've been in Hawaii with us in the program, and they're usually at the meetings with us, and so they're also involved in our lives. And her income now far outshadows mine. What took me 18 years to make, she's done in only a short time, about 4 years. And so I want to really praise her for that.
I always have to follow my sister. It's hard. Judy had lost weight, and I didn't really know her at the time. And she said, everybody's been wondering what I've done to lose 15 pounds. This is it now. I'm ready to tell you. Here it is. I said, okay, I'll take it. And I didn't really believe. I just thought I'd try it. And I didn't want to share it with my sister because I didn't believe. And I don't share something unless I believe. She did get a discount of 25%. And the deal she made with me is, I don't want to sign up, but if you give me, so you have to hear the other side of the story. If you give me 25% off, because I was getting 40% off, I will give you all the business that I get if I don't have to sign that paper. I said, hey, it works for me. I don't care. Give me everything. And so because of that, she would have to come an hour away when we were visiting anyway in Salem and get product, and the boxes got bigger with all the product, and she'd go down there and she'd give it to her friends, and one of my friends too, but other ones. And she kept collecting these checks, and she goes, Renee, have you looked at this plan? Yeah, but I don't understand it. And she says, well, I think this can work. And my husband, being the business person, and Ron is too, they tried to explain it to me. And Judy and I are about the same spot. Oh, yeah, this is great, whatever. And they explained it to the best that we could understand it. And it really is because of their encouragement that I decided to do something. It's not that I did not work before, because I had. But the business, I didn't feel I was a business person. So I thought, yeah. So Rhonda said, we want to do these things together. So I started just deciding to share, because I'm not a real sharing person a lot. So I decided I would share. And I had the story of weight loss plus my allergies. I'm asthmatic and hay fever and whatnot. And I wasn't dealing with it anymore. And that excited me as much as my weight loss. So at the first check or so, I'm just going to bring my hanky. The first check was like $700 because Rhonda brought her friend Linda, and that got Gary's attention. And I said, wow, if I could just get a $1,000 check, this is going to be amazing. So I set my goal of $1,000. Actually, it started at $300. So I thought if I had a clean house and make $300, I could show my daughter that a woman can be married, have children, and bring an income. That's actually my why. My daughter felt like she'd have to get married to have income, to be taken care of. And I started seeing that when she was about 14. I said, I got to be able to do things a little bit differently and show her you can work and still do volunteer work and still do a lot of other things that you want to do. So when that $1,000 check came, it was wonderful, but after that I stopped counting because the money didn't mean anything. It was just that I was becoming a person that was confident, that didn't put themselves down, that always referred to other people as being able to be business. And I know that's in there. I am a business person to a degree, but I still have to work on it. But when I looked at Cindy and Howard up here and listened to them and Linda, the connectedness of people, I could do business for that. Nothing else would I be in business. I wouldn't do this because I just don't enjoy it. But with the people, I enjoy it. And so to give my daughter and my son their example, and to have a dream with my sister, brother-in-law, and we're all connected here, to have that together and to do what we want, everything has been achieved. Everything that we have set out and we talk, everything has been achieved by doing what we're doing. And that's worth actually standing up here and talking to all of you. And that's not easy.
Businesswoman, doesn't she? If we could all be that successful.
You notice something that all these people had in common? They sort of cried a little bit, didn't they? You know why? Because they're caring people. Like I told you before, when you help enough people get what they want out of life, you automatically get some of your wants. And it's been obvious to that today. You know, this group of people that's been up here has made over $1 million in TeamUp. Just think about that. Over $1 million. And yes, they're just like you and I. In fact, some of them are better than I am. But at this time, we'd like to bring up another lady that's very special and dear to her heart and dear to the company. And if it hadn't been for her that had some reason, we'll find out why, to get involved with TeamUp, there wouldn't have been a Renee, and there wouldn't have been a Rhonda, and there wouldn't have been a Cindy, and there wouldn't have been a lot of you all. And your all's life would have been different. And you need to remember that. At this time, we'd like to bring up a very, very special lady that's got all of the Northwest started, Miss Judy Urquhart. Really proud director. And this is the lady that doesn't know how it's done. Don't know anything about this. You just listen and figure out that she does.
Well, I'm still working on it. Well, I really want to thank everybody. I'm like everybody else. I'm really nervous. I don't like talking up here. But I do want to say, really give my special thanks to all of you for being here.
And basically, when I got into TeamUp, I had a goal. I didn't have it written down. I had it in my heart, and that was to get my children, my daughter who lives in Salem, to be able to quit work and be with her home with her children. Well, I have accomplished that. She has quit her job, and she has another new baby. She was going to be here, but she's got a new baby, and so she wasn't able to come. But I have achieved that, and like I said, it's like Rhonda and Renee said, it's a family business, and I got my other two children involved, and we're doing it all together, and so I really appreciate that. And basically, I got into the business because I really wanted to lose the weight, and I did lose it. I know this could be a little bit surprised. I want to give a special thanks to Renee. I love you, Renee, for what you've done, because she's my dear friend. We live very, very close to each other. We're together every day, just about. Not only as a business partnership, but as a friend. So you can share this business and your products with your friends if you love them, and I do.
Thank you, Judy. All right. I'm going to leave you with a little story.
We want to get everybody back on stage that was up here and talk.
Right. Get up.
Judy, you didn't get to go. Bill let you go, but you got to come back. You guys all come back up here that were up here today. We want those crowns.
I want to show you a gold mine. Right here's a gold mine. Get up here. We're going to mine some gold out of this gold mine right here. We've got just enough time to do that.
Manetti's on vacation. It don't matter. Come on.
Get up here. You missed it. Well, you was changing clothes. Greg and Rhonda. Yeah. Okay.
It's a lineup, yes, as Gary says. Yeah.
We got plenty on that. Come out on that. We're on that. We're right on that.
Anybody got a camera?
Well, tell us a little story to stress a point. And Judy really emphasized it. This is a business for your friends and family if you really love them. This is a business that you owe it to your friends and family that wants an opportunity, that wants to get ahead, that wants to be successful. And the way the story goes, and maybe some of you might have heard the story, but if you have, just quiet, okay? You know, Judy and I was riding up and down the freeway up here, and I was up in the northwest part of Washington, and we went downtown, and sort of, I looked up there, and I said, Judy, I think something sparkle up there. This is out in this country. Did they find some gold in this country? And she said, "Oh no, that's just something up there. It's an old can or something like that that's sparkling." So we went downtown and done a few things. We went back up to her house, and we sat around and talked with her. And the next day we went downtown again. And I sort of looked back up there, and I said, I don't. That really sparkles. That looks a little bit like gold. You reckon that's gold? I know the mother lode was supposed to be down in California, but do you really think that might be some gold? Bill, there ain't no gold up here. I mean, all the gold is down in California. There's never been any gold found up here, and so you're just a dreaming. And so we're going down and go downtown and come back, and I said, Judy, that really feels like gold. Judy and I gets into it every now and then. Really and she said, okay, just to satisfy your curiosity, we're going to go up there and we're going to see. I just want to show you there's no gold there. It's all up down in California. So we get up there and we pull up the side of the road and run out, and I jump across this little fence and look over there, and lo and behold, it looks like gold. And I said, well, this really can't be true. This must be fool's gold. There's no gold up here. I said, Judy's probably right. This is not gold. But I just really couldn't couldn't really listen to that delay. So I grabbed some of that a little bit, and Judy knew somebody down at the university, so we grabbed it up and took it down to the university, and they run a little test on it, and lo and behold, it was gold. So, guess what we did? We ran it up back up there. Judy had this brand new car. And we didn't even put any paper down there. We just scooped up all we could, put it in the trunk of her car, and we took it down back to her house. And when we got to her house, then we knew that it would open up the pit. And what was just a little bitty spot up our sparkling now has become a big litter. And so you could see it from the highway. And I said, Judy, I said, somebody's going to see that up there. And so she said, yeah, that's right. So I said, well, we better get back and get a lot of them before somebody comes. So what Judy did, she went and grabbed Renee. And Renee said, I found gold. And Judy said, I found gold. Renee said, there's no gold up here. It's all down in California. You know that Judy, you're just off on one of your days. That's no gold here. And she said, no, we've really found some. Come on. No, I'm busy. I'm trying to do this. I don't want that. No, just leave me alone. I'm going down through here, and I don't want to be. But you don't understand, Renee. This is gold. After a while, she finally figured out that Judy was a close friend, and Judy don't act this way very often. And so, well, maybe she's just right. So then we went up there, and in the meantime, I went over and I found her, and I found Kathy, and I found some more people, and in fact, up in Elkhart, Indiana, and I called her, and I told her about that she had so much belief, she went and bought a dump truck. And what we're trying to get most people to do is spend $49.95, run over to Walmart and get a wheelbarrow and shovel. We're going in, and Super Bowl's on, and we're shaking somebody. And if you really found gold, would you let them sit there and say, cut that TV off? Listen. The gold mine was there. It was really gold. If you believed, if that check would show up in that person's mailbox, would you let your friends pass this by? Judy didn't. Renee didn't. Rhonda, look what I found. I don't want any of that. You just send me a shirt when you get real rich, just send me a few bucks along, Ain't no gold up there. It's going off down here. Just believe. But I found a few people looking for the dump truck. And that's the way it is. We struck gold. We struck it 4 years ago. We opened a little bitty vein. And we started digging. And we started getting some people to help us. These people have been mining gold out of that mine. We don't know how big the vein is, but we know it's gold. We know it's real. And guess what? The mother lode, the lost Dutchman, is probably not here because they never found it. It could be in Washington. Could be in Las Vegas at 6700 Paradise Road. It's a big mine. It's a big mine. We don't know how big that mine is, but what if it's Lost Dutchman? Are you going to let your friends and family miss the gold mine for $49.95? You're going to get them to go out and buy a shovel? You're going to let them sit home and watch the TV? These people are mining gold. They're on their way. Some of them want to mine steam shovels, mine dump trucks. Some of them still dealing with shovels. That's okay. Guess what? Some of you all got a sample of it in the mail. Some of you all are starting. And you're showing up with your shovels and your wheelbars. Somebody may start showing up the pickup. The gold is here. We don't know how much. It may be the mother lode. If it is, we're here first. But there are some here. It's available. You heard from these people. And not only are the gold there, there's another type of gold. There's the gold of human beings out there we can help. And that's what a lot of us are here to do. You've heard testimonies here today that said, the money's great, but I really like people's health. Ron and Greg, not only are they doing well, Greg feels like he's got his life back. know, that's what we're about as TeamUp International. That's the reason we don't go out. The first thing you do is buy a bunch of products. The first thing we tell you to do is set your goals. Figure out where you want to go in life. Figure out where you want to go. And figure out why you want to go there. And we believe that TeamUp has got a place for you and your family. And we want you to do that. We want you to come and help us mind this goal. We want you really to go out and get serious about this business because they are a goal here. If you really cared about your family and your friends, you would know you'd buy that second soup for. I don't care how bad it tastes. Because they're going to be sick and hourly. You know, they're going to be sick and hourly because of money. Don't miss this opportunity. They're not going to be able to live a life they could have. They're going to be just getting by. Don't let your family and friends miss this opportunity. Go back and make that list and say, okay, you know, this is Bill, your friend's house. I know that you've seen all these things go by, and I know that I've not done very well. But I went, and I've seen a bunch of people mining gold, and I want my part. And I'm going to get my part, and whether you like it or not, you're going to get your part because I love you. And you're going to mine this gold with me. Okay? We're going to go mine gold for financial, and we're going to go mine gold for health. I really appreciate you all coming. A lot of you's in Team 96. We're be available to help you. We want to focus, and it's just really, really been great. And Lynn, where you at? You still here?
I'm ready.
Get it.
This is my partner. What do you think, guys? I really don't have a lot to add to that. I think Bill's done a tremendous job, don't y'all? And I really didn't say that to slight any of the other speakers because they all did a great job. Bill's kind of the leader of the Team 96, and he's got a great support team. We're all thankful for the push it's given because a lot of people are being redirected, and we're really excited about the future of TeamUp. So thank you all for coming.
We'll be here as long as you want to be here.